Today on the KeithAndrewNetWork, we had Paul Brenno, Mark White, and Anna Heckman. All three on the show. It was a wonderful episode. Make sure to like and subscribe to the KeithAndrewNetWork. And as I always say, catch you later. But first, starting off the talk show, people want to know, what is the KeithAndrewNetWork? The whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. It's to prove to them it can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. That being said, it's got to be 26 minutes of your time, half hour maximum if we go overtime possibly. But the first one I want to ask you is, Mark, who influenced you to become a stand-up comedian, and what can you tell us about the whole Gothic era? A lot of people say the Gothic era started, it died, it came back.
Well, great questions, Keith. First off, the funniest thing is when you approached me to be on the show, I was very happy to do that. I think you're setting a great example, and it's in as much as we're three white men telling everybody you can do whatever you want. But the thing is, and then you saw my Instagram, and I told you my Instagram is @gothcomedian. You're like, why do you call yourself Goth Comedian? Did you know who I was? How did you pick me out of a phone book? I don't get how you figured out who I was. I just happened to be a comedian, which is great. I always wanted to be a comedian. When I was a kid, I would watch comedians on TV and I just loved them. I remember my father coming home with comedy albums, and my mother too, and they had different tastes in comedy. And I would listen to my father loved Rodney Dangerfield, Sam Kinison, and my mother loved Bill Cosby, Cheech and Chong. And we had these records in the house, and I would just play them more than I would play music. I just loved it. I would something about the art form just really called to me and really resonated with me. It's something I've always wanted to do, and so I got to do it. Now, I was a comedian before I really got into the goth scene. Now, how I got to the goth scene was I was in San Diego, of all places, and this was in the 90s, and I think I was doing something the kids don't know about now, which is renting a video. And I saw all these pasty white, black-clad, beautiful women going into a nightclub. And I said, forget the video. I want to see what's going on in there. I went in, and it just blew my mind. The music, the fashion, just the sensibility was amazing. And it was good for me because I'm colorblind and I'm overweight, so wearing all black really fits with me. And so I went there, and just it blew my mind, and I just became part of the scene. The scene never dies. This is something that never dies. I'm in Los Angeles, which most people would not associate with goth, and this is the #1 goth scene in the country, and it's worldwide. I performed everywhere, Buffalo, New York, Dallas, Texas, all sorts of goth festivals, and it's just something that never dies. If you talk to any woman, I would say under the age of 50, they had a goth face at some point in their lives.
I too, I don't have the skin tone for it. And, that I make the joke is saying, I love a woman with a beautiful skin tone, not one that, glows in the dark.
No, I like to glow in the dark, but there's no set skin tone. Every nationality is into it. And increasingly, you see more African Americans in the scene, and it's great. And here in LA, there's a whole Latino subset. Before the pandemic, they had Cholo Goth nights. And I tell you, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Paul, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Yes, sir.
Who influenced you to become a director and editor? Director and editor.
Well, actually, what I do is I call myself a cinematographer, filmmaker, director, all of it. This goes way, way back, and you all may know the movie Superman the Movie with Christopher Reeve. That movie made me want to be Superman, not a director or an editor. But Dances with Wolves, that made me want to be a cinematographer. And Dean Semler He was the Australian cinematographer who photographed that film. His work on that film, because I'm from North Dakota, and North Dakota has no industry up there. There's no film industry. People, they do make films and they do make videos, but I grew up there, and I started doing still photography. And I was influenced by not really still photography like Ansel Adams, that type of thing. I was influenced by motion pictures. And now with video and with the DSLR revolution back in 2009, lighting photography has always been in my niche since I've been a kid. You know, when I'm 5 and 6 years old, Super Friends, the cartoon, all those TV shows from the 70s to the 80s. 80s I love because Knight Rider, Riptide, all these great family cheesy shows came out. And that really influenced me. I look back at it now and I thought, holy cow, how bad they were, but how great they were. And I watched a podcast with you on it, and your wrestling background, your fan. Well, I remember Gordon Soley in Georgia Championship Wrestling. That fed me as a kid because that entertainment I loved. Superman the movie left that mark on me, whereas Dances with Wolves stamped it into me. And how these guys direct and shoot, it's instinctual for me through the script, but I really responded to lighting and to color and composition. And the guys that influenced me the most are the guys in the ASC, the BSC, the CSC, and these are American Society of Cinematographers, British Society, Australian Society. And I will tell you this, I had the opportunity to actually meet Dean Semler, the cinematographer of Dances, when I was in film school in Montana. And I was a senior. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life, meeting somebody of his stature. And he was so down to earth. He was so, he didn't say, do you know who I am? Go through my assistant. Nothing like that. He said, Paul, come aboard. Just, you know, it was just so cool. I thought, that's what I want to be like. But these guys influenced me to where I am shocked I'm on your show. I'm shocked I'm on any show that wants to talk to me because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to people saying, man, you're good, because when Dark Mark, it's a cool title, when you start talking about goth, I'm not that much into goth because I like skin tone. I just like a tan woman, sorry. But I get that. Well, that's my personal preference. That's I just like a woman who's tan, but I love Comic-Con, cosplay. That I love because I love it when a woman can dress up and a man can dress up, because I wanted to be Superman forever. I kind of still do. But I love the characters they have because they are so rich and powerful, and I love it. And that's kind of what influenced me still to this day.
No, absolutely. Now we have another guest, Joan. You know, what can you tell our audience and us a little bit about yourself and who influenced you to become an actress?
Oh, wow. Influences. Like I briefly mentioned before, I had a background of starting with the silent films all the way up because my dad was really into film. And so my influences go back to Greta Garbo, Rudolph Valentino, Lon Chaney, especially Lon Chaney because he was the man of 1,000 faces. So I figured, well, that's my goal, to have 1,001 faces. So when I have characters, I like to totally transform so that no one recognizes me at all. So that's how I submerge into the characters, and it's fun.
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm going to change up the format. I want you guys to interact with each other. So was there any subjects or questions you guys wanted to talk about? Anything you want to promote? You know, Mark, you know, when I was younger, when I was in high school, and you mentioned, you know, when people go through different phases in life, I was actually goth. You know, I tried to be goth, but I came off more rocker and like heavy metal and all of that. But what is your take on Hot Topic? You know, for me, I like to smell something about Hot Topic. I like the smell of it. It has a certain scent. It's like you walk in, it isn't like a basement if it's all musty, but it's like it could be a nice candle. But what happened to Hot Topic? It's like, you know, it used to be goth, you know, or heavy metal. Now it's Pink?
It's the Disney store.
Yeah,
If you're old enough to remember the Disney store and the Warner Brothers store, that's Hot Topic now. I don't know what's going on with your sense of smell of teeth. I don't know what's going on with you. I will say that Jean, being the woman of 1,001 faces, it's nice to start off with a nice one because you've got a beautiful face, and that's a good base to start with anything.
Oh, thank you.
I agree.
With this whole COVID thing. Oh, your face is not. I'm getting to you, Paul. And the whole thing is,
you guys are great.
With the whole mask wearing, everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want to wear a mask. Or I want to wear. I'm going to wear a mask long after everybody else because I have this face. So I'm going to cover it up as much as possible. I have beautiful eyes, so if I can,
yeah, you do.
This is good. Paul, you were inspired by superhero movies and Superman. This is right in your wheelhouse. The whole culture has shifted to you in the last 10, 12 years.
Yep. Well, I remember the Goth. Well, I remember the Goth period, and I didn't get into it. It just wasn't my thing to get into. But I understand why people would do it, because I was so into Comic-Con and dressing up as a character, because you kind of want to get away from yourself and just play. And as an adult, you can do that without getting arrested, without getting, I just loved it. And I was this close to producing a documentary about my hometown's Comic-Con. Almost.
North Dakota Comic-Con.
I'll do it.
Yep. It was the vision in my head was epic, but as you can imagine, I don't like to criticize anybody or anything because I've seen the big city and the small town. It was a good effort, but it just didn't go.
Well, and I'm old enough. I don't want to belie my age, but I'm old enough that because I grew up in San Diego, I remember the San Diego Comic-Con when it was just a bunch of guys signing comic books. That was it.
Yep.
Now, before the pandemic, it was the biggest thing in the world. Now, Jean, I'm assuming that you cosplay.
Yeah, many cosplays. I do Wonder Woman, Xena, Pris from the original Blade Runner.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
So,
just to name a few.
Now,
Woman,
I was at a convention in Nevada, in Las Vegas, pre-pandemic, and I was surprised, and I should not be surprised because I know a lot of cosplayers. The cosplayers were signing autographs right next to the stars.
Oh, really? Yeah. Actually, a lot of kids loved my Wonder Woman autographs.
I'll bet they do. I'm sure some adults do too.
I haven't even seen it.
Adult kids.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Little kids.
As far as Hot Topic is concerned, it's turned into I think Disney bought it, and that's why it's all Disney stuff. I think if you really ask nicely, they could dig out a Marilyn Manson shirt in the back, but that's about it. So Goth is, but it's fused with cosplay. There's a metal influence. It revolves, but it's the scene's been there have been Zoom Goth nights, but it's not the same as being in the room with people that have your like sensibilities, listening to music that you all like and dancing dancing by yourself. That's the other thing, is nobody dances with somebody else. You always dance by yourself. And
I teach ballroom dancing, so there's partnership.
That's different. That's a totally different thing. So anyway, but I digress. But I admire what you both do. Paul, have you done any superhero movies or superhero TV?
Oh gosh, well, it's funny you say that. Because I haven't done one yet, but I'm actually in talks, and I don't think this is going to go through ever, just because I know the reality of it. But I was putting all my awards on a Facebook site, not because it's an ego thing, but I'm just so proud. I still can't believe it's happening. Well, one of the guys that was in Superman the movie contacted me about doing a film with him, and he was the guy that played the young Clark Kent in Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve, and he's about 60 years old, and it's a period Western, so that's the closest I've had to. And we were just talking today about the script again, and he said, "I want you to shoot it." And I thought, and I just don't know what to say to him except, absolutely yes. But since he was involved with the epic film Superman, I thought, how can you not?
Oh, God.
And I thought, this is amazing. But I thought, he's talking to George Clooney and Kevin Reynolds and all these other guys. And I thought, I'm just a one-man band. And I thought, I would love to do a superhero film. Oh my God! I mean, I'm watching Wonder Woman right now.
Nice.
And it's like, I love Gal Gadot, but there's just, Gina Carano was my favorite, but she's not good of an actress, I don't think, but she's got a great look. And I thought, if I could ever do one, I would love to do a super, because Man of Steel was just on with Zack Snyder. And I would have loved to have done that movie because I think the photography was terrible, but the story was great. It just looked like a black and white film in color. I thought Superman is not black and white. That's Batman. It needs to be color, happy, hopeful. That's what Superman is, not Bruce Wayne in the Superman suit. Come on. So I thought that Christopher Nolan did such a epic job with that. And I thought, oh, give me the camera and give me the lights. Let me do it.
That's how I, it's funny, that's how I feel. But the new Justice League, came out, it's good. I said to my friend, anyone here like Dragon Ball Z?
Never got into Dragon Ball Z, sorry.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Oh, he did the voice of.
Sorry.
He did the voice of Android 17, and we were talking about all these different things. And but Superman, yes, he's supposed to be helpful and colorful, uplifting. Yeah. Superman 1 and 2, absolutely the best. My favorite Superman 2. Then there were some funny, stupid scenes in Superman 3 where the guy's running up the stairs and Superman blows out the torch.
Oh yeah.
But it's then later on he's we need a new Superman, and he's bitching and crying and moaning. Yeah. It's like, this is not Superman. This is emo Superman.
Well, it's interesting because I had a conversation because I think Zack Snyder, the guy that directed it, I think he's a genius visually. But one of the conversations we had was DC was competing against Marvel, which had all these great movies coming out. And they were panicking, so they had to push it forward. I thought, don't rush, because what happens when you rush? If you rush and eat, you're going to get a stomachache. If you rush and drive a car, you're going to get a speeding ticket. Don't rush the movie. And they did, and they just screwed it all up. The editing was terrible. But Henry Cavill is such a great Superman, but he needed to be a better Clark Kent. But don't mimic Bryan Singer, what he did with Brandon Routh in Superman Returns. It was just, they were just mimicking Richard Donner and Christopher Reeve. Don't do that. Be original. But I really liked it. And I thought, everybody's going to pick it apart. Everybody's a Monday morning quarterback. And I don't think I could ever make something that good, but maybe one day we will.
No, you're right. For me, this is how I see the superheroes. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. Eddie, why am I drawing a blank? Not the one who's doing the Hulk now. The original one in 2008.
Oh, you mean Edward Norton?
Thank you. He is the Hulk, and he should have been in the Avengers.
Right.
I actually had the voice of Wonder Woman on the show from the Super Friends.
That would have been great.
I wanted her to come back on the show. Unfortunately, she said, no, once was enough. I guess I left a good impression on her, but she doesn't want to come back. For me, I'm a diehard Dragon Ball fan. I was saying, all this special effects, especially Captain Marvel, when she powers up, her eyes glow, and all this, that's Dragon Ball right there. If you can do that, you can do a Dragon Ball movie. Unfortunately, they made a Dragon Ball movie kind of like Karate Kid and Power Rangers had a baby. It was god-awful.
Yeah.
But the question, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it was interesting because one of the two favorite films I've seen are Aquaman. I thought James Wan did a terrific job with that. And then Shazam.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I really like Shazam. And they're doing two with Zach Levi from Chuck. And I just loved it because to me, that was what Superman should have been. That childlike wonder, and I thought, this is great. And I thought, there you go, Monday morning quarterbacking again. Shut up. You're not being paid for your opinion. But this is my money. I'm going to go see it because I really enjoyed it.
No,
the thing is, they don't make superhero movies for kids anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
They make it for 50-year-old men.
Yeah, like me.
And I haven't been surprised I like Shazam, I like Aquaman, but I got to be honest, I haven't really been wowed from a superhero movie for a long time. And, the first Superman, the first Batman, Blade, the first Iron Man, the first Avengers. But since then, it's all kind of the same. It's like they set it up nicely, and then at the end, it's a bunch of special effects, and it sucks.
Yeah. If you want to go back, you'll probably dark. I'm going to just say Dark and Gene. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, the greatest is, of course, Tim Burton's Batman 1989. I mean, come on. Michael Keaton was like 5'2", but he still made it.
Yeah, he made it work. That's for sure.
Well, Batman 2 wasn't horrible. It's just a little demented, but that's Tim Burton for you.
Yeah. 3 and 4, Joel Schumacher, he just destroyed it.
But
Sorry, Gene, go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I just said I like Demented, so
Well, do
That's
tell
up my
Gene.
alley.
We want to talk about your demented tastes.
But Superman, for me, people talk about Lois and Clark, the new Lois and Clark. Smallville, on for 10 years. He had 5 solid years of what the hell am I watching? To 5 solid years. This is what Smallville is supposed to be. Personally, I would hire, why am I having a fart on names? I'm really bad at names. Tom Wellens.
Right.
Tom Wellens was excellent as Superman. And it's like, I don't know, something about DC. It's like Marvel, you can use certain names and you do certain things. Like Gotham, you can't mention Batman, but it is about Batman. Smallville, it's
Right.
about Superman, but you can't mention Superman. So, DC needs to get their crap together, number one. And what people, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's interesting because when you're talking my language, because I will respectfully disagree on Smallville. Smallville was about Clark, not Superman, and I know that because they didn't call him Superman ever. They called him the Red Blue Blur.
Right.
And I thought he's Superman, but nobody sees it. You don't see him be Superman until the very last scene of the series, which is a great tease. But Erica Durance, I'm still in love with because she was the perfect Lois. She was gorgeous, funny, and had that childlike giddiness. And that's what you need in a movie to keep me interested, And I never watched Gotham. I had no interest in. I think it was about Gordon. I thought I don't care. I just don't. I want to know Batman. And of course, they tease you like they did in Smallville. The final shot, not scene, the final shot is when you see Batman. That is what should have happened in season 1. But that's just me. But it's interesting how they do that because one of the things that Smallville, the creator, Greg Berlanti, I think he was the one, he said, you will never, ever see Clark fly or use his superpowers. And then what the hell is Smallville about? That makes no sense. It's like no red tights. That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's
I got a pair over here. If you want me to put them.
Well, I've already got 2 pair. I got 2 pair of cleaners.
But that's the thing
on
on
the roof
what
back there, the whole thing.
But that's the thing we're talking about DC, how they're very sketchy about not saying what it is. Green Lantern, there's 2 Green Lanterns coming out. One's going to be HBO, but hopefully that's going to be good. And there's one going to be CW. So,
Well, they even cast the new one yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
God, what the hell? Whit Winrock from American Horror Story is the new Green Lantern.
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Doom Patrol to come back. That's really good.
I've never been into those movies. I'm sorry.
What did you say? I'm sorry. Which one?
Oh, Doom Patrol.
Oh, okay.
And they were in the DC universe, and if you watch Crisis on Earth, while they're going through the different universes, they actually mention Doom Patrol, Stargirl. Stargirl was actually really good. I had my doubts about it, but it really blew me away.
Yep, Stargirl. That was the series on CW that just canceled.
Oh, I didn't know they canceled it.
Oh, I think the TV, the network that I'm subscribing to canceled CW, and there went Stargirl, and I saw like 2 episodes. I thought this is pretty good, but then when I watched Captain Marvel with Brie Larson, I thought this isn't Captain Marvel. This is Captain Marvel, named after. And I thought, okay, I'm confused. I mean, it just. I read the critics, and I thought it's visually exciting, but the story I just couldn't get behind. Give me some action. It was more drama, and I thought a superhero movie isn't supposed to be dramatic, but it is. But give me some action. You're supposed to appeal to men and women.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson.
Red tights in.
Yeah, exactly. Give me something sexy to watch, for God's sake. I'll say it, yes. But it's just everybody's there. Like I said, their own critic. And since I make movies, I mean, I'm always wondering, my movie's a piece of shit and it won an award because you're always your worst critic. So I look at that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Gene, welcome to the world's smallest Comic-Con panel.
Yep.
And
you're the star, Gene.
I thought Captain Marvel was okay. I didn't see the big criticism.
Oh, I love you guys.
But Gene, what's it like to have a real social life? That's what we want to know. What's it like not to be huddled up in your apartment with red tights and comic books. What is that like?
Well, who said I had to have a social life at all?
I'm assuming.
Well, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's funny. I do tend to kind of hold myself up a lot, and my social things are very spread out. So I am kind of a hermit, and I like to do creative things. I make costumes. I compose music. So yeah, I get social once in a great while, but really, it's mostly online anymore.
Everything's mostly online.
Of course, things are coming back after the pandemic, so yeah, there will
God,
be
I hope so.
social events.
That would be nice. Everyone has to be vaccinated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people don't really care anymore. I mean, I'm in LA, and they pretty much lifted all the requirements. I went to my friend's band was playing at a bar a couple of weeks ago. I walk in, I've got a mask on. There's like two other people with masks on, and I'm looking at this heavy metal crowd going, not everybody here has been vaccinated. So I went right to the back, away from everybody, upstairs, and watched my friend's band, and kept my mask on the whole time. Which I don't know if that prevents it or not. Nobody knows. The scientists don't know. But I'm just I'm doing what like I've been doing. That's even after, like I say, even after I get vaccinated, I'll be wearing masks the whole time. Just this is the best thing for me.
Yeah, I got vaccinated and I still wear masks.
Look at that. Look at how hot that is. That is good.
Yep.
So
I've never ever been vaccinated. Ever.
I might get a welder's mask. I got the whole thing planned out. You know.
Actually, I'll be in California in a couple of weeks doing a film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Scream Bloody Murder.
Is that the name of it? Or is that how you feel?
little column A, little column B.
Hey, the best thing is that you're working, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and horror movies are fun. So,
especially
what's the movie that you're shooting?
What's that?
What's the movie that you're shooting?
Scream Bloody Murder.
Of course.
That's nice. Well, it was interesting, Ginny, you say that, because last year with all the awards that I was honored with, I got a
congratulations, by the way. That's super awesome.
I'll send you my email with all my awards, and you'll be answering it for days. Anyway, I got contacted by an Australian actor living in LA, and he wanted me to do a horror movie in Sydney next year.
That's great.
And I thought, okay, is this a joke? Because I'm not used to this. But I thought, if it is, it's called Detective Steele. I thought, boy, you can't beat that. And I thought, okay, what do I do? And then another thing was a TV pilot in Canada. And I thought, this is something else, because the genres go from period westerns to all this other stuff. And I thought, this is the stuff dreams are made of, and I don't even live near LA.
Yeah. We did a horror western last year, a vampire one that's coming out, Bloodthirst. That was, we filmed in 115-degree heat here in Vegas, and but besides that, your face is melting off. It was still a lot of fun with Costas Mandylor and Robert and everybody. So
I'll send you my card for being a DP in your next movie.
What's that?
I'll send you my contact information for being DP in your next movie.
All right, sure. Absolutely.
Well, you're in Vegas?
Yeah.
I'll be in Vegas next week.
Where are you from? Where you live?
I'm actually in Tyler, Texas right now, which is east of Dallas, about an hour and a half. Before that,
I'll be doing a film there later too. So.
Oh, in Tyler?
No, in Texas. I'm not sure exactly where in Texas, but.
Well,
it'd be funny if it was Tyler.
I'll have Keith make arrangements for our agent dinner and cocktail party.
There you go.
Well, the one thing I
do, support the bill too.
Yep. We'll send the bill to Keith.
One thing I do want to say, while wrapping up, Sim's about to kick us off, is June 10th, if you want to add this to your calendar, June 10th at 5 o'clock East. It's going to be my 8-year anniversary. I would love to have you guys a part of it.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
It's your old show.
Happy clap.
Well, wrapping up, you just got to kick me off because I don't pay for the extra minutes. So it's a real honor and privilege having you guys as a guest. And I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road. I just want to say thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.